All right, so the panic is ensuing in the markets. I just did my emergency meeting to help calm people down on the Zoom call, but we're going to get that available to the public. We'll get that out to everybody. But I want to share with you guys what is actually happening. So a lot of people have a question, why did Silicon Valley Bank go insolvent and why did the FDIC have to step in? So this is going to happen with a lot of companies and a lot of banks specifically. Remember, money was very cheap for a very long time, quantitative easing. Money was very easy to get. A lot of venture capitalists were pouring their money into these new innovative technologies, cryptocurrency. Banks were lending like crazy, banks like Silvergate to crypto companies. But let's talk about what happens and why banks end up going insolvent. So banks have liquidity from us as a consumer. They lend out our money. Our hard-earned money goes into a bank. They take our money, they lend it out, they lend it to their people. So when you walk in and you put your $3,000 in, they lend that $3,000 in a credit card, auto loan, or home mortgage. So I'm not sure what was messed up with their balance sheets, if it was poor management or if they're having liquidity problems, but most banks are in a liquidity crisis in my opinion. So when the public found out that they were trying to shore up $2.5 billion on their balance sheet, the public panics. Now they probably could have shored it up somehow. They could have borrowed the money, they could have got a bailout, maybe, I'm not sure what they would have done. But here's how the domino happens. So when the public hears these types of things, people run to the bank and pull their money, which sucked the liquidity out of the bank as they were trying to shore up a $2.5 billion gap. So imagine you're trying to shore up a $2.5 million gap, and then the public, the customers come and suck the liquidity out of the bank, you're done. So their card got called, they had to reach out to the FDIC. FDIC comes and bails them in. Now what does that mean? A bail-in is different from a bail-out. A bailout is the bank receives an equity injection. So cash injection, basically, an equity injection. In a bail-in, all insured debt is converted to equity. So now the people that have $250,000 or above now have to wait to see in the equity sale how much money they're going to get back. The people $250,000 and below are insured. And what happens is with the bail-in, the FDIC takes over on a Friday, and by Monday, it's a new organization or a new bank. But here's the issue. It takes one catastrophic collapse like that to cause a ripple effect. Let me explain. So when people ran Silicon Valley Bank and sucked the liquidity out of that, when they announced to the public they were trying to shore up $2.5 billion, well, then Circle had to announce that they had 8% exposure to Silicon Valley Bank. So the public runs to Circle and starts liquidating USDC, which depegged the stablecoin. Do you see how the ripple effect happens? So people in my comments are saying, oh, it doesn't matter, it only has 16 branches. Guys, the whole monetary system is connected. So Silicon Valley caused panic, people pulled. They got bailed in, Circle had 8% exposure. So they announced that 8% exposure, so Circle's customers liquidated, depegging USDC. Do you see how quickly this can happen? So I truly believe you're going to see a lot more of this. Silvergate and Silicon Valley Bank. Circle CEO did the right thing. He immediately was on a live. You can go to Circle's YouTube channel, and he spoke about this. That's what real CEOs do. I'm not saying I'm for or against, but we know Circle's connected to BlackRock. BlackRock's connected to Coinbase through Aladdin. They're all interconnected, guys. So the whole banking system, central bank is in a liquidity crisis. The only way America can survive in this new monetary system, or in this monetary system currently, is to keep raising the debt ceiling because we can't even pay for our debts. That's why on-demand liquidity, distributed ledger technology, the new monetary system, we've been talking about this forever. It's been the plan for a very long time. 2012, Obama's bailout plan started. 2012, the FDIC started the bail-ins bank plan. Biannually, they had to submit their reports. You can go to the FDIC's website, guys, and you can read every single bank's bail-in plan. They all have bail-in plans. And in January 2023, this year, they had the bail-in meeting where they were concerned about notifying the public that they were getting prepared for bail-ins. Well, nobody believed me when I presented that, and nobody really looked at the full context of the video. And it's on the FDI website. It's available to the public. You can watch this stuff. Well, and then a couple weeks later, 4 or 5 weeks later, here we are with our first bank bail-in. So don't think that just because it's some Silicon Valley bank with 16 branches, that's how it happens. It's called a ripple effect, no pun intended. So you're going to start to see a lot more insolvency. Here's why. Because interest rates are skyrocketing, making it very, very expensive to borrow money. Banks make money in three ways. Interest income. Okay, when you raise interest rates, you get less loans, so banks make less money. Capital markets income. That's trading, capital markets. The markets are getting jacked right now. And number three, fee income. Okay, that's off of customers. So if two ways that you make money as a bank are being tested right now and people aren't doing a ton of loans, what do you think is going to happen to the banks? So the banks, like Silicon Valley Bank, then I don't know what's wrong with their balance sheet, but obviously they're trying to shore up $2.5 billion. Something was wrong. They were probably over leveraged, and when, people aren't borrowing anymore, they got caught. Their card got called. Well, don't think that's the only bank that's going to fill this. And don't think that's not why the FDIC was preparing for bail-ins. So I hope this information reaches you well. This is much bigger than cryptocurrency. It's much bigger than getting rich quick. It's understanding how the financial system actually works. And this is nothing new under the sun. We're moving from industrial to technical, Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. It's the biggest shift in generational wealth in our human history. And it's the only time in our living history that we have the advantage of, when everybody's fearful, to buy these innovative technologies. If you picked a couple winners, it could radically change your family's life. But here's the thing. A lot of you are going to get rich quick and you're going to lose it like that because you don't understand how investing works and how to diversify. Number one, when you win in a speculative asset and you have a large amount of wealth coming in, you need to have an exit plan to exit the market, and you need to secure, then you need to grow. Do not mix your investments with your retirement. An investment is cryptocurrency. A retirement plan would be real estate, leveraged life insurance, maybe securing it up with some precious metals to maintain the value. You got to make sure you're listening to the right people. The whole system of go to school, get a job, get a 401k, put it in the S&P and just hold on and retire with $1 million at 4% interest and make $40,000 a year to work at Walmart to pay for your medications. That's not peace. That's not freedom. That's not what God intended for us. God intended for us to have peace, freedom, family structure, which are my principles that I live by. So I love you guys very, very much. I wish you peace and prosperity. And stay calm, guys. Work harder on yourself than you do anything else. Get into my 120-day challenge, guys. It's changing people's lives worldwide. That's why I proudly talk about it on every single video. We just hit over 6,000 warriors worldwide's lives have been changed. And you can join for 7 days for free in 2023. Link in bio. Love you guys. We'll see you inside.